Uh, we live in a world far different from the Galileo Galilei's or Charles Messier's. We this day we have the power of technology. Your smartphone that you carry in your pocket probably has more compute power than high performance computers just a decade ago. We are going to use that fact to our advantage. Ranjit is going to walk you through uh, how how the night sky changes as time changes or seasons change. And it is for this reason that we asked you to install this app called Stellarium. If you still haven't done it, now you can do it now. It's a free app available for both iOS and Android. So if you haven't installed Stellarium, let's go ahead and install it. And yeah, let me ask Ranjit to come over stage and do the demo. Ranjit, it's all yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you once again for being here. So this is more a practical session. So we have seen many things about the different objects that you can see right from the planet, the stars, the galaxies. But like you actually have to go out and see. So let's say you are actually one evening, one fine evening, though, there's a slight breeze, you're on your terrace, and you see a bright object, and you've always been curious, what that bright object is. It could be a planet, it could be a star. So we have, as Nandan mentioned, we have quite powerful tools right now to actually explore the night sky, to find what that particular object is, which probably wasn't there, 60, 70 years back. So this is essentially a planetarium software. So there are many planetarium software out there. You have Stellarium, you have Sky Eye, you have Sky Safari. So this is more of a practical demo of how to use the particular app that we are talking about, which is Stellarium, how to use it to actually explore the night sky. So there is no need to be, to think, oh, what's that particular bright object in the sky? I don't know, what could it be? You can always use this particular app to see and explore what that object actually is. And if you're really curious about it, then you can explore more about that particular object. So what I'm going to do right now is so I will just project my screen over here, and I will open Stellarium, and I will go step by step. So this is more of a practical session. So you may have to stand up, you may have to turn around, you may have to see which is your north. That is, you have to orient. So you don't know where your north is, south is, east and west are. So you may have to stand up. It's up to you. You could sit and do it, or there may be a necessity to stand up and actually move around. So it's like an exercise post your coffee break. Okay, so let me just connect. So you can open Stellarium. Yeah, I think I'll just show it. I'll just show it on. Okay, guys, we have some trouble. So what I will do is I will show it on my mobile. Uh, yeah. So okay. So we seem to be having some trouble connecting to the display. So what I will do is I'll show it on my mobile. I'm sure you won't be able to see my mobile, but we will have people going around trying to help you out. What exactly I'm trying to convey? Okay. So let me start off. Uh, yeah. So yeah. So open your Stellarium. So you should see something like this. The thing is, you will see that the sky is, so this is the landscape, the black thing that you see over here. Let me just increase the brightness. Okay. So you will see a black, you will see like, a lot of trees and things like that. That is the landscape. Okay. So, so that's the landscape. And if you just move your phone, you will see that the sky also moves along with it. So are you able to see that? Just move your mobile and see that. So the first thing is, so how does a planetarium software work? So the way it works is, you given the time, the date, the place, you can actually exactly you can know by computations how the night sky looks like, or the sky looks like in general above you, wherever you have. Yeah, sure. So the first thing that you need to make sure is, make sure that your latitude and longitude, that is, you are in Bangalore right now, so that is your place on the sphere of the earth. So you need to make sure that, that you are at, that is, you input the right latitude and the longitude. So by default, you will see that the network, if you have the network, it will take the latitude and longitude uh, that automatically it takes from the network. So you don't have to worry about that. So how to make sure that your latitude and longitude is correct is, on the top you will see a bunch of lines. Are you able to see that? Yeah. So if you click on that, so if you click on that, you should see sky cultures, calendar, observing tools, settings. Are you able to see that? Okay, great. So if you click on the settings, you will see location. Are you able to see location? Yeah, click on location. When you, okay, so if you click on location, you will see latitude, longitude, name city, and UTC offset. What do you see? Do you see Bangalore? Okay, great, very great, good. So what has happened is, the network has automatically taken the latitude, longitude, based on your, like, you're connected to the the wireless network, the cellular network, and it has taken the your geolocation from the tower. Okay, so that is to make sure, because if you give some other thing, the sky, like, if, for example, if it is Adelaide in Australia, the sky is going to look completely different. Okay, so if you come out of location and click on advanced. So what this advanced thing gives you is, you see two things, limit magnitude and brightness. Okay. Okay, okay, so it's fine, don't worry about that, it's not important. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so just imagine, you see that, that particular evening the sky is pretty clear, you see some bright objects in the sky, and you're really interested to know what those particular objects are. So what you do is, you take your stellarium, as make sure it is the right, and what you do is, so you see that, first thing is, you need to know where your what's your orientation, that is, where is your north, south, west, east, those directions. So can you see, if you keep like this, you will see some, a letter W in red. Can you see that? If you keep moving, if you move towards this side, all towards this side, towards this corner. So do you see west? Okay, so that's your west. Okay, so if you move towards that direction over there, that's your north. Okay, and if you move it towards this particular direction, that's east. Okay, and of course that is south. So is everybody on the same page? Are you able to see these are called the cardinal points, north, south, west, east, these are your cardinal points. So are you able, does anyone have any issue or trouble? Okay, I am assuming everybody is okay. So okay, so this is what you are orienting yourself, wherever you are. Let's say you are on your terrace, and you are orienting. So okay, that is north, that is south, that is west, that is east. Okay, that is the beginning. Okay, okay, sure. So let's say, so what you see is, and the time, what is that? So you see at the bottom, there is a particular time. I don't know what it shows on. So if you tap on it, you will, you can actually set the time. What is the time that shows in your Stellarium? Sorry, 11. Okay, just bring it back to somewhere like 1930. That is 7:30 in the evening. You can, yeah. So there is a slider at the bottom which you can move. So you just, or you can, what you can do is you can actually tap that particular time, and then you can, so you can actually, if you see, you can actually move the time, okay, like this. So I've got it to 9:12, around 9:12. Okay. So now if you see there's a bright object, you're on your terrace and you see there is a bright object in your western horizon. So what you do is you just point towards the west. Okay. So you see, okay, there are two, can you see two objects, two bright objects in your stellarium? Just click the brighter of them. What is it? Venus. Yeah. So it's like you saw something in the evening and you don't know what it is, and you can use this particular app to point at that bright object and click on it and find out what that particular object is. Okay. So you see Venus is about to set. Okay. So you can actually now below Venus there is something else, right? Spica. That's a star. Okay. So you can use, there are two bright objects in the western horizon, and one is Venus, quite bright, and the other one is Spica. Okay. Now, if you move slowly towards your up, you will see another bright object. Can you see that? That is, you have to move from west towards the top. Yeah, Arcturus. Okay. Can you see that? It's somewhere over here. You have to see my orientation. Okay. So that is the star Arcturus. Okay. Is everybody on the same page? Okay. Is, if anybody has any trouble, there are people to help out. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Fine. Oh, thanks. Okay, great. So we are right now. So let me, so we are at 9:30. Can you see the time over here? So I've kept to 9:30, around 9:30. Oh, sorry, 7:30. Okay. So there were two, so that is Venus and Spica. So now I'm going to move. You see? Okay. So there's another bright object. So let me do one thing. So I'm just going to simulate a night sky, a light polluted night sky. Okay, so that I don't see the other stars. So there is another bright object, which is a star called Arcturus. Okay. Now, if you move up, up, you have to go up. You see another star called Vega. Yeah. Okay. So Vega is pretty much the brightest star other than Sirius in the night sky. So you can't miss it. Okay. And then if you move slowly towards your north, okay, you will see another bright object. You can click it. What is it? Deneb. Can you see? Can you see Deneb? Yeah, you. So this is how you will need some exercise for this. Okay. So can you see Deneb? Yeah. So if you actually bring, you will see a picture of a swan. Can you see? If you bring your, if you point, you can see. If you're having trouble, just look at this. Okay, what I'm doing. So I'm moving towards Deneb, and you will see that, you will see the constellation of Cygnus. Can you see that? Yeah. So it looks like a swan. Can you make out the shape of a swan? And there is also an image which looks like the swan, right? So Deneb, actually, lot of the names of the stars are actually in Arabic. So Deneb Deneb means the tail of the hen in Arabic, but in more modern, the name is Cygnus. So Cygnus comes from means the swan in Latin. So it's more of a Greek name, Cygnus. So that is the constellation of Cygnus that you're looking at. Okay. Once again, if you just point over there, so you can make out the shape of Cygnus, right? Yeah. And so now just have a look here. So I'm going to move a little more higher, and almost overhead me, I can see the constellation of, sorry, you can see Altair, right? Okay. So this is, so okay, come back. It's all right. It's okay. You literally have to stand up and do this because astronomy is not a sedentary exercise. So you have to go out, you have to stand up, move around. So it's a good exercise. That's one thing. Okay. So, so this is pretty much how an evening sky will look like on a decent, even if the sky is quite clear in a place like Bangalore. I encourage you, go out on your terrace, use this particular app, and see a bright object and be curious about it, what that particular object is, point at it, and it will tell you, okay, what star is it, what part of the constellation it is, those kind of information. Okay. So you, and this is what I'm showing you is tonight at around 7:30 in the evening. All right. So now what? So tonight, the moon is going to rise. So, so what we can do is we can actually find when is the moon going to rise. Okay. So for that, what you can do is you see the search bar. You can type moon. All right, and then click. So are you able to click? So, so is everybody on the same page? Okay. Okay. So now what you need to do is advance the time. So if you have any trouble, have a look at what I'm doing over here. Okay. So what I have done is I have actually clicked on this particular time, 7:30, and then I have actually this bar, I am just moving it towards the right. All right. So now I have moved the bar sufficiently. Okay. Are we on the same page? No? What is the problem? Okay, you did not catch. Okay, I will tell again. Okay. So so the time was somewhere around 7:30, right? So what I'm going to do is, okay, 7:45 is the time. The time is 7:45. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to actually click on this time, okay? And then, so you get a bar at the bottom, okay? So move the bar towards the right, okay? So I have moved it sufficiently enough such that the time is around 10 o'clock, okay? All right. Is anybody having problems? Please do raise hands. Yeah, move the bar to the right such that it is around 10 in the 22.00. You see? Okay, are we everything okay? Okay. I I hope everything is okay. All right. So the moon is going to rise in the east. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are just going to move in this particular direction. Okay. And can you see the moon? You have to just look at my orientation. That's too high. You have to see this side. Can you see? Can you see the moon? Yes or no? Okay, great. Fine. So you can find out what time the moon rises. You can do many things like when the moon rises and when the moon sets. Okay? So you can do all these things with this particular app. And then, for example, you can learn about the constellations. Okay, come back. So for example, let's come back over here, keep the time at 10. So you can see, there's a constellation. Okay, there is a constellation. Can you see? If you can't see, you can see the screen over here. So that's the constellation of Hercules. And you can see a particular shape of a warrior. Okay, if you point it over there, you can see the shape of a warrior. And so if you see, what is it that you can study about constellation, you can learn about constellations, you can do these kind of things using this particular app. Okay, so you can understand the constellations, and if you see bright objects in the sky, you can use this particular app to learn about the constellations. Now, assume that you go to a dark site, okay, where out of the city, far away from the city, and you might chance to see the Milky Way. Somebody says that, hey, the Milky Way can be seen from this particular place. So how do you find where to look for the Milky Way? Okay, the best thing is just rotate around, okay, west, east, south, okay. Yeah. So if you go, so south, you have to see my orientation. So in this direction around 9 o'clock, change the time to around 8, okay, 8, yeah, around 8:30, okay, around 8:30 in southeast. So you know that at that particular night, if you look at southeast around 8:30, you will see, one of the arms of the Milky Way. And if you are in a dark side, you will actually see it as a patch of cloud. Okay, and you won't be able to say that, if you're looking at at it for the first time, you might just think that it is a patch of cloud, but it is not actually a patch of cloud. You are actually looking at the center of the Milky Way. Okay, you see this particular this region, right? This particular region, that is actually, you are actually looking straight into the center of the Milky Way. All right. So next to that, there is another interesting constellation. That is the constellation of Scorpius. Okay, as Varun said in the first session, that you know there is a constellation called as the constellation of Scorpius. Okay, so that particular constellation is this one. Okay, it does look like, a scorpion, right? So you see it has three, this is the fangs, this is the tail, okay, and this is a bright star, Antares. Okay, so you can actually, if you're really interested to find, if somebody tells you, you go to a dark place and somebody tells you that you will be able to see the Milky Way, and you don't know where to look for, you can use this particular app, move the time to that particular time, and just look at, usually the Milky Way is in the south east to southwest. So you can just look in that particular direction, south east to southwest, and see where and which is the best time to see the Milky Way. Okay, so you can do many things. I would, this is primarily a very good tool to learn about constellations. So if you're really just starting off with astronomy, the first thing is, just you don't need very fancy equipment like telescopes, binoculars, and things like that. You can just observe with your naked eye itself. You can observe the stars, how the stars move, the constellations. You see a bright star, you want to know in which constellation it is, you can just point over there and see, you can form the shape of a constellation. Okay, and if you have a question. Okay, so if you want to know which constellation it is in, so you can just use this particular app. You can just point. For example, you see a reddish star in the east. Sorry, in the south. Okay, so this is the reddish star, and then you can see that, okay, there is a bright star over here, over there, towards the left, and then you will be able to see the other stars which forms the tail of the scorpion. and then the stars which forms the fang of the Scorpius. Okay, the Scorpion, the constellation is called as Scorpius. Okay, so this is a very good tool to learn about constellations and things like that. And let's say you wanted to see, for example, you somebody said, okay, there is the Orion Nebula. Okay, you wanted to see the constellation of Orion itself. So what you need to do is, you don't know where to find it, just go to search. All right, Orion. Okay, it says Orion Nebula. Let's click it, no problem. And this will tell you where it is. So yeah, so if it is at the bottom, what you have to do is you need to press on time and then advance the time. So if you do that, what you will see is you will actually see it rising. Okay, so it will start pointing, go along with the point. Okay, so at around 2 in the morning, okay, to around 2 in the morning, the constellation of Orion is over here. Okay, so you can use this tool to learn about constellations. So just to wrap it up, okay, the story is that so in Greek mythology, Orion was supposed to be a very great hunter, and he used to boast that I can kill all the animals. And the gods got so angry that they decided to put the constellation of Scorpius in the night sky. Okay, so it's a great honor if you are actually projected in the night sky as per Greek mythology. Okay, so we want to find, is this actually true? That is, the story goes that, as Varun was mentioning, when Orion will rise only when the Scorpius is not in the sky, the constellation of Scorpius is not in the sky, or the constellation of Scorpius has set. Okay, so is this true? For that, what we need to do is, what we will do is, first we'll try to see where Scorpius is. Okay, it's around, yeah. So at around 7, you can see the time over there. Around 8 o'clock, yeah. So this is, the Scorpius is still visible in the night sky. Okay, so just scan and see. Can you see Orion? It's still looking for Orion. Okay. Okay. So you are right now in the constellation of Scorpius at 8 in the evening. All right. So what you do is, can you see anywhere the constellation? What you can do is, you can see whether do you see Orion. Okay. Or you can just click over here. Okay, so what does this arrow show? It means this is the black is is the horizon. Okay, so that means Orion is still, you won't be able to see Orion in the sky because it is still under the it's below the earth. Okay, as per your field of view. Now what you need to do is, so let's see when does it rise actually. So, and we will see when it rises, and are we actually able to see Scorpius? Okay, or the other way around, what we will do is, we will see when Scorpius sets. Okay, so this is the constellation of Scorpius. So what we can do is, we can advance time. So Scorpius is going to set now. Okay, Scorpius is no longer visible. All right, so let's see, where is Orion? Orion is just over here. Okay, so you can see the constellation of Orion rises just when the constellation of Scorpius sets. So that's what it means, that so you can actually, you can see, okay, you just hear some story and you can actually see whether is this true or not. Okay, so you can actually explore, is this mythological story true, that when Scorpius when the Orion just rises when the constellation of Scorpius sets, which is in fact true, because just when Scorpius has set, Orion has the courage to come to the night sky. Okay, thank you very much. So this is I encourage you to use this app more. Go out. I know probably it might be overwhelming, but just take baby steps. If you see any bright, interesting object in the night sky, point over there, search what that star is and in which constellation it is. Okay, thank you very much.